Hey Clashes, General X is right now the rank 1 player in Germany and he was in that position over the majority of the season. He's playing a really interesting strategy with dragons, even one electric dragons, some healers and as well some rocket loons to support the entire attack. We will take a look at exactly how this attack is played, and he's not using any Royal Champion charges, while still using the Electro Boots. It's more about the back end power you can and value you can get from this hero. So let's dive into the attacks and let's see exactly how this is done. The key thing for this strategy is really the blimp and the angle on how you play it. So for this base, for example, where's the tower? Oh, it's close to the core, and we have a huge rage tower area next to it. So I think what we're going to do is I will try to have the queen on one of the flanks. So typically trying to go for the flank where there is less damage. And I think this side might look a little better. Yeah. Or is it this side? Ah, there's a lot of damage. No, I think from the bottom side. And then you're trying to take down like one air defense, for example, but the sweeper, that's the main part. So let's just do that. I would like to take down the back end sweeper. Let's see if we can make that work. From this elixir collector, maybe like this. Can we get it? Perfect. And now the dragon's in. We can use as well the electric dragon to fun a little bit. The remaining dragons in from over here. As well add the 2 other healers. And now the blimp to get that crazy clone blimp value. Warn ability as the blimp is leaving the warden range. Just like this. And then we can clone everything everywhere. I'm going, by the way, from this side because the blimp itself is already going to trigger that Giga Bomb, which is always something to consider, always something which is quite nice. I will add the Royal Champion down here to support my push from the bottom side. Let's just poison in the core as well, because this is always the big problem, I guess, or like the one thing which can be sometimes a bit annoying. You're obviously luring out the clan castle, right? So that is something you have to keep in mind. But now, the crazy thing about this is that the back end is just so strong for you. So, you have the Royal Champion with her double epic equipments. You have the Queen pushing around the outside. So, that's kind of like what this strategy is coming down to. Yes, you're typically losing a lot of power then in the core, but this is like what the consistency then is all about. It's like this strategy is not designed to create crazy overkills. Obviously, this can happen as well, especially if you get great blimp value, but it's more about just being super consistent. For the back end, we can like still snipe stuff if we want to, but I think right now is the perfect moment to stay out of range from most defenses and activate the rocket spear. And the last couple of defenses won't even have a chance of fighting back, because this is now where the invis spells are coming in clutch, and where you're trying to really make sure that you're having a lot of value, because, well, you have now a back end Royal Champion charge pretty much. So let's just turn those invisible. We're having the value. Rocket loons in here as well, and this base is done. Let's go. We even have a couple of spells left over. Let's deploy them somewhere. Or we're getting our first 3-star. This is how the strategy is played. I know this has way more moving parts, and especially as well when to snipe defense with rocket loons and things like that will come over time. But this is like why this strategy was adjusted, for example. Like there is as well obviously like the mass version with just straight up only dragons, and then still the clone blimp, like overall the same approach. But this one with the electric dragon and everything surrounded has way more impact when you can like, well, react to certain things. And this is why pros are building their strategies like this. There's always a plan B, a plan C if things might go wrong. And let's see what the next attack is looking like. Okay, those are the type of bases as well which are perfect for this. You know already the fireball versus those bases, it's super easy and simple, but those type of bases are like typically as well for this type of strategy quite easy as well. So let's just see if I can show it to you. First off, we have both sweepers pointing into the right side, and you don't always have to go for the town hall, but I think for this one we just go for it, right? I think we just go for it. Let's just see how we can... No, I think actually, let's just do it like this. How do we funnel though? Nah, I think like this. Let's trigger the invis tower. Perfect. 2 healers, the 1 headhunter. As I said, a lot of way more moving parts. Put the dragons in. Let's just add the electric dragon as well. Minion prince like this. Now the blimp and the entire tunnel core should be gone within seconds. Warn ability now. Wind so far is looking fine. Let's just clone those already. Let's rage this up, and the tunnel compartment is going to go down. The pathing in the back end now can be problematic. Let's just activate the Royal Champion Spear early on. So we're going to trigger that Invis Tower. And then we have the dragons later on moving in there. So that's kind of the setup what we're going for right now. You can always activate that quite nice and early. Let's just freeze this. And then we overpower that back end. That should be no problem. The Queen is still alive. Minion Prince, let's just use that right now. Royal Champion now, we have to be careful because obviously she has lost her range by now. Let's just use the poison for those dragons. We have the back end rocket runes which we can use. Let's just use them on the outside. Let's add some runes here to trigger stuff and everything. I mean, the base is already yet again gone. And this is... Well, you have so much impact. Like, where's the Royal Champ, by the way? Ooh. Nah, that invis isn't great. But shouldn't matter. Shouldn't matter. We had to use the Royal Champ early this time to really trigger the Invis Tower and stuff. We still have 2 Invis spells. And like 3 of the heroes still alive. Like, it's... Yeah. There's a reason why General has created this strategy. I think he created this specific army composition because it's what I love about this. There's so many plan Bs. Like there's so many things where you can adjust and everything. Obviously, this might be not something for everyone, but you can play this strategy as well broken down quite a bit with removing the Electro Dragon, instead adding more dragons, for example. Removing the Rocket Dunes, adding more dragons, for example, if you don't want to use as many super troops, for example. But again, you're kind of losing control with removing every single piece, because that is something what this strategy really does. You have as much control as possible. You can path where everything goes, and that just shows with those attacks. Okay, oh, another Invis base. Well, they're just so popular right now. But this is as well like another thing why those blimps are so popular, because it's just like a free 3-star. Like you should get them quite easily. So let's get this done. How do we approach this? I would like... Actually, what I would like to do is I would trigger both Invis Towers from this bottom side. I will start the dragons into the bottom side and then blimp the top side. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think that should work out perfect. So just like this. Obviously, healers behind. We're going to have as well 1 Electro Dragon on this side. The dragons like this. Okay, looking good, looking good. Warden ability hopefully really soon. Yep. We can take down the iTzu with our Royal Champion as support. Then we're going to clone in the core. Open the blimp. And that core should go down like it's nothing. Yes, there's the tornado trap, but who cares? Like, we're fine, we got this. So we have now dragons splitting everywhere, and I think we're now going to concentrate on the left side mostly, because this is where we have all 4 heroes now with a little bit of dragon support. I think this is where it's the most important thing to really like push forward. We have to be careful here because I think I just lost the Royal Champion, the Fox there. Let's poison this so the king is not dealing as much damage. And then we might have to activate the Rocket Spear really soon. I can still activate as well the... What is the name? The Minion Prince ability. But I think we're going to do that for the back end as well. So far, so good. The Rocket Spear is doing the thing. Can I snipe? Ooh, I can snipe the Scatter, I think. That should work. Because, yep, they're now on top of that. Perfect. Let's use the Bay Dragon here. Let's use the Invis. Minion Prince, could you please? Thank you. Turn into that direction. That's perfect. Thank you so much. And this base is gone yet again. I mean, it's kind of crazy. It is just crazy strong. And I can just recommend it to you. It's super efficient right now versus the current base meta, versus pretty much everything. And as well, on top of that, even with the nerf of the Electro Boots, it shouldn't really be impacted as much because you're using the Royal Gem on the back end and you always have support around her, so the damage is not the main thing. It's more about that you don't have to care about skeleton traps, that you can clear the clan castle as I just did with the iTzu, with the ice pups, for example. So those are the key things why you're using the Electro Aura, and even with the nerf, like, you don't really care much about that, to be honest. So give it a try. The link is down below. A huge shout out goes to General X because I saw him first using this strategy, and give it a try. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys back tomorrow with the next Clash video. Until then, see ya and bye bye.